Good morning, guys. It's a kind of a soggy morning here in Halifax. We had big rain last night and wind and a big storm. I think it was the remnants of Debbie rolling through quite a bit to the west, but we still got the sort of post-tropical storm stuff. Anyways, let's start with some fun stuff. Look at my t-shirt. Look at this. Stay strong, you're not alone. Ha ha ha, how cool is that? And this was a gift from my sister Hetty, who you saw in a previous video or a short. She liked it so much that she had a t-shirt made. So I think that's pretty cool. Stay strong, you're not alone. And one of the reasons I started thinking that way, that was one of my little mantras that got me through this whole thing, or that has helped me work my way through this whole thing. One of the reasons I came up with that is that when this started, I felt so very alone. I was scared and confused and anxious. And wow, I had a really hard time, as probably everybody who's watching this who's dealt with dementia caregiving has felt. And I had a couple of things I did. I'm in this band, this community band, samba band, and there are people there that I would count as almost like family. Like I love them; they're like siblings. So there were two or three that I confided in after band practice of my fears and what was going on. This is pre-diagnosis, and I cried. I'm not a crier. I've never been a crier, but in the last 3 years, I've cried a bucket of tears. And so I confided in these people, and I considered them my trust circle, my inner trust circle. No judgment, and they were there to listen and a shoulder to cry on and somebody to hug. And it was pretty amazing. The second thing I did was I called the local Alzheimer's Association helpline, and there also I got this completely non-judgmental, of course, and unwavering support. And they offered practical information, numbers I could call or things I could do, and they followed up. And it was quite something. And they still follow up every 6 months or so. I get a call, and I know I could call them at any time, and get somebody, a sympathetic person on the other end to talk to. So those two things were the you're not alone part of it. And then I have to say that this YouTube channel, which is approaching 6,000 subscribers, has completely blown my mind. This was a sleeper. This is such a surprise. I had no idea that this could happen and that I can feel this sense of support and community from all of you people, and it just warms my heart, and it's encouraging to know that there's this appetite for empathy content. And one of my commenters said, they quoted this Ram Dass, quoted Ram Dass, who says, we're all just walking each other home. Think about that for a minute. We're just walking each other home. That's what it is. And I try not to get emotional about this stuff, but my heart and my emotions have changed since I've started this journey. So okay, that's part one of today's video. Um, by way of an update of what's happening in the house, it seems like every 2 weeks there's some new development with Heather, and the current one is that her mobility is really suffering. I'm starting to notice it. Like when she walks, she's got this gait with the right arm is kind of hanging a little bit loose, or it's in a pocket, and her right leg is dragging a bit. Sometimes it catches on the pavement, and when she walks around the house, she's starting to touch the walls as she's going for support. So I can see where this is going. This is a downward slide in mobility, and that's going to, I think, be the deciding factor to tell me that I need help in the house here, because she's a big girl and I can't just move her around in bed, and so having help will go a long way towards this. making things work. And my goal is to keep her at home as long as possible, possibly to the end. I don't know. I'm open to whatever comes up, but getting some help in the house. The writing is on the wall. It's coming up. I know it is at some point. So keeping my options open, and I know who to call. I've got the companies identified already, and I can afford it because our government system here, the provincial system, pays for roughly half the cost of a live-in caregiver. So I have money in the bank. It was retirement savings. It's okay. I also have a pension. And so between the provincial government money and my savings, I can afford to have somebody come in the house. I'm very lucky in that regard. I know not everybody is. So, okay, that's the interlude between part one and part two of this video. Part two was something I wrote a while ago. And I don't know if you're all familiar with Star Trek. And I don't think this was the original Star Trek. I forget which one it was. I'm not that much of a Trekkie, but there's an episode where the cast of the Enterprise are going about their business, and they notice things happening around them. Things are changed and moved, and they can't figure out how or what's going on. It's no explanation for it. And then at a certain point, they somehow catch on to the fact that there's this alien species living amongst them there on the Enterprise, and the alien species is moving at like 1,000 times the speed of the humans, of the people, the crew. And maybe it's related to a wormhole or a folding of time space continuum, or I have no idea. But if essentially the crew of the Enterprise is moving at such a slow speed compared to the aliens, who are, in their world, the aliens are moving at a normal speed. So there's this big discrepancy. And I feel like the world is this alien species, and my previous life was moving at the speed of this alien species. And I am moving at the speed of the crew of the Enterprise. Everything is so slow, and that's just everything moves so slowly in this house. Trying to help Heather is absolute torture at times, and I use that term loosely. I have to really, the way to deal with this is, one, I've made my world very small. My world is caregiving. That's about it. I get out once in a while with my samba band, for example. Once a month, I'll go for a coffee with somebody. Other than that, I mean, all my hobbies are off the table. Even home maintenance stuff is on the back burner. My world is really small, and so my expectations of my day and life, the bar is way down here somewhere. I just want to get through my days with, if I can, a bit of a smile on my face. If I can get a few laughs out of Heather in the day, during the day, she's clean, she's safe, she's not perturbed or upset. That's all I want. I don't need any more than that. So, it's the great slowing down of life, just like that Star Trek episode. And that, my folks, is today's video. I've got some others on the back burner that will take a bit of editing effort. Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding the time. I'll get to them at some point. And I thought in the meantime, I would just do these spontaneous talking head, talking head t-shirts. And also, as always, folks, stay strong. You're not alone. Stay strong. I hope everybody has a good day. So, bye. Thanks for subscribing, liking, and all of that stuff. Talk to you again.